In March, the 30 of us gathered at the Kirk Avenue Music Hall, and we had a 2-day intensive experience with Stephen Pedigo, who's one of the staff for the creative class. And we talked about 4 T's: technology, talent, tolerance, and territorial assets, or the value of the place. And we talked about these in terms of what attracts people to the places in which we live. Those 4 T's combined attract a lot of people. Not only people in the arts, but people who are interested in open and diverse and inclusive community where everyone can thrive. So out of that, we formed 4 teams, and we each chose, according to our passion, which team we wanted to be on. So I chose S.T.A.R. The last month, we have joined forces, joined hands with another of the initiatives, YAY, which stands for Youth Experiencing the Amenities, because we felt as though our common goals were very similar in that we wanted, through the arts, to do everything we could to enhance and build inclusive community in Roanoke and the region. So we are here tonight celebrating the first inaugural event of S.T.A.R. and YAY, Open Doors, the Dynamics of Difference. And this is the first of 3 of these conversations that will take place over the course of the next year.
Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I've gotten to meet a lot of you already and hope to meet everyone before the night's over. But it's very special that you all are here. And I want to ask Bev Schlegel, who is the manager here at the Shenandoah Club, to say a couple of words. Bev?
I just want to say welcome. We're delighted to have you here. I've been the general manager of the Shenandoah Club for 25 years. I celebrate my 25th anniversary Sunday. I have devoted my life to transforming this club from a single gender, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant club to the diverse club that it is today. And I cannot tell you how thrilled I am that your first event is here. Thank you for being here.
And without further ado, I would like to introduce a colleague of mine from Virginia Tech. I got to participate in one of the programs she did on diversity not too long ago at Tech in February, and it was pretty life-changing for me, but it was. But she is the Director of Education for Equity and Inclusion, the Office of Equity and Inclusion at Virginia Tech. She is also a professor in theater arts at Virginia Tech, Ms. Susanna Rinehart.
Thank you, Jane and Joe. I'm very delighted to be here. This is the very first time I've been at the Shenandoah Club, and this is such a nice atmosphere to be doing this in. And as Jane said, I have been at Virginia Tech in the Office for Equity and Inclusion, doing a multiplicity, actually, of programs and events around the very subject that we're here to talk about tonight. And so Joe and Jane had sort of brought me into the S.T.A.R. circle, and this was some months ago now, and had the beginnings of a sense of how they felt that they wanted to build these programs and these open doors conversations. And as we talked about it, and you sort of immediately, I think when you go to thinking about a conversation around diversity, a conversation around inclusion, I think most of us go to sort of a set of topics that could include. And so we started thinking about a series of those and what they might surround. And as we talked more, I realized that as part of what the sort of impulse of this entire project was, it seemed to me that the people who needed to figure out what you all should talk about would be you. An inclusive community actually look and feel like? What does it feel like to be a part of a truly inclusive community? Either we know because we already are a part of an inclusive community, in which case we can share that. What are the components of that? And if we feel like we spend our lives in communities which don't feel entirely inclusive yet, how might we get there? What are the obstacles that either each of us individually or that we collectively see as existing toward what most of us, I think, when we think about it and imagine it, sounds like a really good thing, right? The notion of an inclusive community is hard to think of in a negative way, and yet what I'm struck by is where are the places in which we sort of struggle with that and for that? What do we envision, want, desire in the way of inclusive community? What do we see as particular challenges to that goal in this region, or even in our smaller circles? And what might, in fact, be the topics and conversations that we need to have to get to where we want to go? So that actually you all, unbeknownst to you, were invited here this evening in part to see if we could creatively construct where we might want to head, and what else do we need to talk about, in a sense? You know, what are some of the things that we might want to bring other members of the community in to talk about and pull apart across a year of time?